tapping in. I'm tapping in. I'm tapping in. I'm tapping in. Thank y'all for tapping in the Yocuzpodcast. Y'all know who it is. Man, we lit. We lit. We are lit tonight. Listen, man, thank y'all for tapping in. Thank y'all for subscribing to this channel. Y'all know we lit, man. 6 days a week, all on service. But guess what? We always got something special coming up for y'all, man. Listen, thank y'all for tapping in the Yocuzpodcast. Y'all know what it is, man. We lit. We lit. So listen, I love y'all, man. For real. I really do, man. Y'all definitely run me up, man. I need y'all to go tap in to the second YouTube page, Yocuzpodcast with the 2 T's video. I need y'all to go tap in, man, right now, right now. I'm going to drop the link in the message, and I need y'all to tap in, man. Listen, it's Lit Monday. Y'all already know what it is, right? Shout out to my homeboy, One Take Jake, that come on every Wednesday, man. And he dropped music. So look, I got some music, man. I'm about to drop this music that he just sent me, man. So look, I need y'all to tap in the One Take Jake, man. He lit. I'm giving it to y'all right now. Tap in. Hold up. What happened?
The only place to find wealth. Been through a lot of things, but I can't remain the worst enemy to myself. Great to be.
Here we go. Thank y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all subscribe to that YouTube channel. We lit. We lit. Hit that like button.
Compromise my happiness with myself. Trying to realign and look deep inside, cause that's the only place to find wealth. Been through a lot of things, but I can't remain the worst enemy to myself. Been to hell and back and did a lot of dirt, but I'm clean now, I just help. And in the 6th grade, a good friend of mine, he hung himself on his bunk bed, and we graduated that same year. But when the day came, he just wasn't there. Was the first time that I realized even younger guys, they could be next. I felt real pain. Class got the news, my heart dropped on that brown desk like damn. Explain to me what made my homie wanna go out so sad. Wasn't plain to see, but the backstory had a young nigga like man. Got in a fight early in the week and my dog was sick with them hands. Niggas kept on playing, then he started whipping that ass. Wasn't the aggressor, got called out, pulled out of class. Grandmother came, he told us out, but she was still mad.
Hey.
Took the homie home and still ain't believe, cause his rep was
Tap
dead.
in, tap in.
He was frustrated, so damn sad, he made the day his last. Got out the car, went in the house, she wailed on his ass. She left, he seen the shoestrings hanging out his Timberlands. He made his mind so fast, first place, not last. Tied them both together, put them around his neck. Why she ain't give him a pass? Looked up, accepted his fate. Tied him onto the bed.
Hey.
Man, it ain't no way. He wanted out at this point. By this time, it's too late.
Hey.
Sure, the last thing he really wanted was not to see another day. Weight rushed to the ground, then he hurt his neck break. Now tell me, what can I do as a man to change the way that you think? Cause me, I've been in all them places, I done ran all the races, I seen a couple of homies that never got up when they fell on the pavement, Deaf at them young ages, seem like the children paying all the wages, ascend on their parents, and me, I'm just trying to ascend as a parent, I can feel the burn from the fire that I got in my heart. Now what did we learn? Every situation that we go through shouldn't make you wanna live in an urn or live in a box. A lot of my youngins gon' end up here cause they keep sliding on all of the ops. So when will it stop?
Hey.
And when will it change?
Hey.
Ain't thinking about living and dying, no life ain't about placing the blame.
Hey.
I'm trying to find a time and I compromise my happiness with myself. Trying to realign and look deep inside, cause that's the only place to find wealth. Been through a lot of things, but I can't remain the worst enemy to myself. I've been to hell and back and did a lot of dirt, but I'm clean now, I just help. Trying to find a time and I compromise my happiness with myself. Trying to realign and look deep inside, cause that's the only place to find wealth. Been through a lot of things, but I can't remain the worst enemy to myself. I've been to hell and back and did a lot of dirt, but I'm clean now, I just help.
Man, listen, man. Thank y'all for tapping in there. You feel me? That was One Take Jake, man. Go follow my man on Instagram. He lit. He lit. Y'all already know, man. Hey, cuz, that joint was lit, cuz. You already know, cuz. I had to play it on the podcast for you, cuz. You my man. Make sure y'all tune in every Wednesday. One Take Jake be on there with all the knowledge, all the knowledge, all the motivation, man. We lit. So look, I got one for y'all today, man. We lit. This one is right here. Is Bill Gates pledged to donate most of $200 billion out, bro. 200 billion? 200 billion? That man got that money. Believe me, he got a master plan. He got a master plan. That's why I keep telling y'all, man, put that money up, flip that money. Don't keep spending that money on that nonsense and the cars and all that other shit, man. Keep flipping that money. Invest into yourself and your family, bro. For real, bro. You getting old, bro. Put that money up, bro, for the family, bro. It's all right. You hear me? For real. Thank y'all for tapping in the Yocuzpodcast. We lit, man. Pay attention. This shit free. Let's go.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Let's keep it moving with more of these top headlines on this extremely busy Thursday. Live picture there over the Seattle, Washington area. I believe you can see there Mount St. Helens. Wow, look at that. In the meantime, though, we have some news. We are hearing from one of the world's wealthiest individuals today. I'm talking about Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates. And so the Associated Press has it as follows, that Bill Gates saying he will donate 99% of his remaining tech fortune to the Gates Foundation, which will now close in the year 2045. That's earlier than previously planned. Today, that would be worth an estimated $107 billion. Now, the pledge is among the largest philanthropic gifts ever, even outpacing the historic contributions of industrialists like John D. Rockefeller and Andrew Carnegie when adjusted for inflation. Only Berkshire Hathaway investor Warren Buffett's pledge to donate his fortune may be larger, depending on stock market fluctuations. There, Buffett's currently estimated by Forbes at $160 billion. Now, Gates' donation will be delivered over time and allow the foundation to spend an additional $200
doing very well. And so that's when I was thinking, okay, what am I going to do with
outpacing the historic contributions of industrialists like John D. Rockefeller and Andrew Carnegie when adjusted for inflation. Only Berkshire Hathaway investor Warren Buffett's pledge to donate his fortune may be larger, depending on stock market fluctuations. There, Buffett's currently estimated by Forbes at $160 billion. Now, Gates' donation will be delivered over time and allow the foundation to spend an additional $200 billion over the next 20 years.
Let me ask y'all a question. What would you do with $160 billion? Ask yourself that. What would you do with $160 billion, bro? If somebody know you got $160 billion, they're going to come in your house. And it might be your family member. Not playing. Don't you tell nobody you got all that money and you living in the hood. Man, they going to come and get that. And you ain't going to be able to do nothing but get that up, man. What would you do with $160 billion, man? Just don't let nobody know you got that bag. Keep that on the low. You hear me? Don't let them know, man. But just ask yourself, what would you do with $160 billion, man?
Years, the foundation already has an endowment of $77 billion built from donations from Gates, Melinda French Gates, his ex-wife, and Warren Buffett. So you're going to hear this announcement being made today. Also, some of the comments being made in that very announcement, getting a lot of attention. Gates extemporaneously commenting on another fellow billionaire, the world's richest man, Elon Musk, as well here. So let's listen to Gates make this announcement today.
Well, good morning. I'm not one for looking back much, but we've got, such incredible anniversaries this year, and particularly the 25 years of the Gates Foundation. During the 1990s, Microsoft was doing very well. And so that's when I was thinking, okay, what am I going to do with this wealth? How much should go to the kids? How much do I want to consume? And how should the bulk of it go back to society. And I was trying to figure out, was there anything dramatic, anything that would be significant that could be done? Obviously, I was spoiled by the computer revolution and how digital tools, including the software from Microsoft, had made a big difference. And it made me think about innovation, surprising innovation that could do big things. And so as I was studying these foundations from the past and the work they had done, one of the articles I ran into in 1997 by Nick Kristof, who's here with us today, talked about deaths from diarrhea. And I wrote a note on it to my dad saying, hey, this could be something we could help with. And it was through that journey that I came to understand that there was a vaccine, rotavirus vaccine, which is the cause of most diarrheal deaths. And it was being given to the rich kids, but it was not available to the rest of the kids in the world. So it was deeply ironic that we'd invented this thing, and yet it was far too expensive, and there was no funding to get it to all the world's countries. And so that was a kind of opportunity that made me super enthusiastic. So it was in the year 2000 that I made the first big gift to the Gates Foundation. It became the largest foundation in the world. I can't say enough how my parents drove my values and specifically pushed me to be philanthropic. My mom talked about to whom much is given, much is expected. Tragically, she died 32 years ago, but really shaped me in a very strong way. My dad was also quite amazing, not only encouraging me, but also he was around to help out. In fact, my dad and Patty Stonecipher was here, did amazing work getting the foundation going while I was still full-time at Microsoft. This picture of my dad with Nelson Mandela and Jimmy Carter holding babies infected with HIV as part of a trip they made to Africa is one of my favorites. They were attacked at the time by the ANC as being agents of the pharmaceutical companies because Thabo Mbeki was sort of denying that HIV was caused by the virus, and so it was a very controversial thing. The person other than my parents who influenced me a great deal is, of course, Warren Buffett. Warren influenced me before I met him in 1991. He wrote an article about giving all your money away and how leaving large sums to kids sometimes wasn't even a favor to them. And so people should think in a generous way like he was. I learned so much from Warren, both his advice to me and his example. Of course, in 2006, he decided that some of his wealth would be given away through the Gates Foundation, and probably the most generous gift ever given by somebody to someone else's foundation. We received over $43 billion in stock from Warren, and he continues to be very generous. Of course, it was very poignant last Saturday when at his 60th annual meeting, he discussed that he'll be stepping down as CEO of Berkshire, but he's still as wise as ever and had fantastic messages as part of that annual meeting that I was there with him at. So, the foundation so far, during the 25 years, has given away a little bit more than $100 billion.
Brilliant, bro. Brilliant. Man said a brilliant, bro.
You know, we started in 2001 giving a bit over $1 billion. You can see that it grows, including particularly after the Buffett gift in 2006. And then you can see what it's been spent on. You know, we picked two big causes, education and health would be our main ones. Health here, we've split into two categories. Our health work is both discovery, where we create new tools and make them very, very inexpensive, and then healthcare delivery, where with partners, we finance these tools so they can get out to everyone in the world. The discovery piece, you know, we can fund a lot of that ourselves. Areas like malaria, TB, you know, we're big funders. We invite other people in. But the place that we're not nearly large enough to achieve what should be done is in the delivery piece. And that's where we've had other philanthropies, but also rich world governments that have given between 1% to 2% of their budget for these global health causes. And you know, the work in global health in terms of measuring the results, making sure.
I just want y'all just to understand this, right? Y'all hear him talking about numbers, right? Remind you, he giving all this money away to the people that need it, right? Only thing he's gonna do is claim it on the taxes. He gonna triple. So if he going to give away 160 billion, picture how much he gonna get back. So he would never go broke. Oh yeah, definitely. He gonna tell you that he gonna give all that away by 2045. But think about it. How many tax days that is in that he gonna triple, dipple that money? You hear me? The man is a billionaire, bro. He know how to flip money. His whole family knew numbers. You hear me? He got people giving him 45 billion, bro, just to donate. Take the 45, bro. You hear me? Come on, man. Y'all better pay attention, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man, because we lit, man. For real. We are definitely lit. We are definitely lit. Let's go.
We're having an impact, you know, from the year 2000 to today. We've come a long ways. And a lot of this, you know, can best be summarized in terms of saving lives. Now, it's daunting when you talk about saving millions of lives or tens of millions of lives. You know, it's somehow not as evocative if I put up, you know, one person's picture and said we saved that person. But in fact, you know, we can think of the parents and the communities and how impactful this is. In fact, we got a short clip that hopefully will bring that home.
That's crazy. Damn.
Two very specific memories for me are one is being in a malaria ward in Kenya with over 40 children and being told that half of those kids would not survive because of the malaria they were experiencing. Another experience was in South Africa, where I was meeting with the parents of a child that had died, and they had been asked for permission for us to do what we call a minimal invasive autopsy, which allows us to see exactly what caused the death. And the parents talked about how they were proud to give permission because it would mean that less parents would have to go through what they were going through. So the overall picture is the graph that's my favorite ever, showing this progress. Childhood deaths have been coming down for hundreds of years, but the period by far of the greatest progress reducing childhood deaths is the last 25 years. It was it's almost 10 million at the turn of the century, and now a bit below 5 million. Now, how do we do it? That's something to wish for, but how do you achieve it? Well, it turns out children die of a pretty modest number of things. Two of the diseases are pneumonia and diarrhea. And as I said, there were great vaccines, but only available in rich countries. And so we funded the creation of new vaccines for pneumococcus and rotavirus, and we got the price of the rotavirus.
Okay, so wanted to give you guys a little sense of this as Bill Gates touting and extolling the progress, the work the Gates Foundation has done for so long. So wanted to show you that. What's getting, though, a lot of attention right now is in conjunction with this announcement, Bill Gates did an exclusive interview with the Financial Times. I want to put this up here. So a lot of people are talking about this moment where Gates was quite forthcoming, we'll put it that way, about Elon Musk's efforts within the federal government at Doge here. So Bill Gates said in an interview that Elon Musk had acted through ignorance during what Gates described as misguided cuts to U.S. development assistance. So Gates accusing Musk of, quote, killing the world's poorest children through misguided USAID cuts. Gates told the FT the abruptness of the cuts had left life-saving food and medicines expiring in warehouses and could lead to the resurgence of diseases such as measles, HIV, and polio. Gates said this, quote, the picture of the world's richest man killing the world's poorest children is not a pretty one. Gates said, quote, I'd love for him to go in and meet the children that have now been infected with HIV because he cut that money.
Listen, man.
Gates has
Thank y'all for tapping into Yocuzpodcast, man. You feel me? That's the thing. That's the thing. When you got a lot of money, that's what happened. That's what happened when you got a lot of money. You feel me? Everybody talk down on everybody. No, you shouldn't talk down on nobody. You should be trying to get with the program. But, that's how they talk about each other. You feel me? Like, it's wild, but that's what they do. They talk about each other because both of them got a lot of money. But Bill Gates is saying, like, he the richest man. Like, he the richest man, so why he not taking care of shit? You feel me? But I don't know.
Do you believe these aren't?
I got one for y'all. Thank y'all for tapping into Yocuzpodcast. We are definitely lit.
For real.
All day, all night.
Aspen Dental's dentures.
For real. So look, this one right here is about athletes with mental health, Joe. Football players, soccer players, baseball players. They got mental health. You know what I'm saying? So now we about to find out how they get the mental health. You hear me? Let's see. Thank y'all for tapping into Yocuzpodcast. We lit. Let's go.
You have to be at a team lift at 6 a.m., but you're accidentally 1 minute late because you slept through your alarm. Your heart's pounding from sprinting to the gym, but nobody cares that it's because you were up until 2 a.m. studying for an exam that you still don't feel prepared for. You can feel the tension between you and your teammates who now have to run sprints tomorrow at 6 a.m. because you were 1 minute late. You start the lift, and your mind's just not in the right place, but it doesn't matter. You have to lift. And as soon as it's over, you scarf down breakfast on your way to 8 a.m. class, and you get there, and your hair's still wet because you didn't have time to dry it. The professor looks at you and says, "Where's the homework assignment?" But you forgot it. How could you forget it? You were supposed to be on top of everything, so you sit there and you worry about what else you might have forgot. And at noon, you get a 30-minute break. But it's not really a break because you use it to quickly make up an assignment you missed for last week's game. And soon, it's 12:10. And to you, 40 minutes does not feel like enough time to get on the court and be ready, even though it actually is. So you head over, and at 1, practice is starting. And you have to forget everything that happened in your day because at practice, you have to perform. You can't not perform. There's someone better than you, someone competing with you, and someone in high school who just committed to be you. So forget the 0 on your assignment. Forget the test you're not prepared for. Forget the friends you haven't seen in weeks. Forget the argument you've been in with your parent. Play well, pass well, perform. And when it's finally over, you find yourself staring in the locker room mirror, trying not to cry. And you ask yourself, is this how I'm supposed to feel? My name is Victoria Garrick, and I play volleyball here at USC. I've been playing sports my whole life, but never quite like this. Now in high school, I didn't understand mental illness. And usually when people say mental illness, people tense up because talking about it is uncomfortable. You might think, oh, I've heard this before, or this doesn't affect me. Those are common thoughts to have, I know, because I used to think the same things. I thought, depression means you have serious family issues, or, you're born with anxiety. I just didn't get it because it's hard to understand something you can't see or touch. So when I got to college and began my career as a Division I athlete, I never thought I would struggle with these issues. Now, I can't be the only athlete here. We definitely probably have some soul cyclers, some neighborhood joggers. So if you've ever, had an injury, torn a ligament, sprained an ankle, I just want you to raise your hand. All right, awesome. That's like most of the room. It's pretty common. Now I want you to raise your hand if you've ever had depression or anxiety. You can put your hands down. Did you feel almost that tension or like that awkwardness we just created together? Did you maybe judge someone who raised their hand, or were you afraid to raise your own hand because of what people might think? 1 in 4 people suffer from a mental health issue, which is 25% of this room right now. What we just experienced together was a room full of people stigmatizing mental health. Dr. Jeffrey Lieberman defines stigma as dishonor or disgrace. He says it's like the scarlet A that Hester Prynne is forced to wear, or the mark on Cain in the Bible. It's this label that outcasts you from everyone else. We stigmatize mental health in this same way, and that's a societal issue that needs to change. And while anyone can experience a mental health issue, today I'm going to talk about mental health, specifically in athletes, because I have faced anxiety and depression through my experiences as an athlete. So let me tell you a little bit about me. When I first got to the USC volleyball team, I was overjoyed. Let me preface this by saying I was not a top recruit, okay? I was not called by tons of Division I schools, but USC was my dream scenario, and I wanted it so bad. And I knew I was good enough despite what anyone else told me. So I emailed these coaches every day. I called them every week. I went in for extra reps in high school. I sent them videos. I called again until they were like, okay, you can walk on, just like stop contacting us. So eventually I got my spot. But still, these USC coaches did not think I would play 1 point. But I had this fire, this zest for competition, and I didn't care that I didn't have the accolades that the other girls did. So I kept working hard. Against all odds, my freshman season, I started and played in every single Pac-12 match, and we won the championship. That's me on the left right there. And what happened was there was this girl who wasn't supposed to do anything, who now has a role on what at the time.
So listen, make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel. So look, I'm giving y'all all parts. You feel me? All parts. a mental health, athlete, kids, the mother, the father, the grandmother. I'm gonna give it to y'all in all different type of flavors, man. I just need y'all to hit that like button, man, because we lit. Let's go.
Was the #1 team in the nation. Mentally, I started on this high, right, because I was living my dream. But all of a sudden, I began to feel differently. I became anxious, more anxious than I'd ever felt before. I had 5 alarms to make sure I was never late, but I never even used the 5 alarms because I woke up at 7:15 anyways due to my anxiety over being late. And I worried about my athletic performance constantly. On game days, I worried. What if I don't play well tonight? What if the coaches bench me? What if my passing sucks? What if I didn't study to scout enough? There were times I would feel this knot in my stomach and my skin start to crawl and my hands start to shake and eyes well with tears because I was so afraid to play and make a mistake. Because at an elite level, mistakes are costly. And on top of it, I had school and exams and family and a social life, and I couldn't handle everything coming at me so fast and just piling up at one time. I want to take a second, though, to show you guys how this happened to me because, to be ironic, it is easier to understand something when you can see it. So,
this is what Ivy League universities you can get into with a 3.6 GPA.
I need y'all to tap in. I need y'all to go subscribe to that channel. Let's go.
In my life, I'm going to, disclaimer, this wasn't intended to be funny, but as I wrote my talk, I realized how much of a joke my schedule is, so I had some fun with it. So if you like to make light of a tragic situation like me, you're going to enjoy this. If not, bear with me. I have 16 units of class. Let's add a nice fat 5-hour practice block. Then I have required tutoring. Maybe time to eat because I'm a human who does that sometimes. Also, I need office hours, probably with a professor who thinks his class is the only thing I have to do in my life. Then I have an exam, which I probably only know 20% of, so I'm gonna block out time to study and really master that 20%, on top of all my other homework. And oops, maybe I have 6 a.m. running because my teammate's going through the same stuff I am and she was late one day. But don't forget, games on Friday and Sunday out of state. So now I'm missing these days of class for travel. Secretly, I'm kind of excited I'm missing class, but the logical part of me is like, when am I going to find the time to make up that work? Because pregame warm-up starts not 1, not 2, not 3, but a whopping 4 hours before the game. So if you thought I'd have time to make it up, I actually don't. And then it all restarts when I hop off my plane bright and early to do it all again. And in the little time I have left, I like to cry in misery. I wish I was kidding. But if you look at the schedule in all seriousness, you can see how this can overpower anyone. It could overpower one of you. All of a sudden, I was thinking about what I have to do next, what I can't be late for, what I can't miss, what could go wrong. And it just kind of drove me off the wall. And because I didn't think I could have any of these illnesses because I was an athlete, I battled depression for half a year without even knowing I was. When I first became really unhappy, it was in August, and I didn't know how to describe it. Every morning I woke up, I immediately despised the day. I didn't have the energy. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to see anyone or do anything. At practice, I just went through the motions. I woke up, I went to the practice block for 5 hours, and I went to sleep. And I did that again and again and again. I was just depleted, completely and utterly drained. And do you know how much energy it takes day in and day out to not even succeed, but just get by as a student athlete? It's exhausting. And I told myself, you can't feel this way, Victoria. You have nothing to feel sad about. You're starting, you have a great family, you have good friends. And I was confused because I was known to always be the most energetic, the most bubbly and talkative.
This is your resume. This is what a recruiter does.
Thank y'all for tapping into Yocuzpodcast, man. Listen, this thing's serious. I ain't even lying to y'all, man. Pay attention.
So I said, put on this face and just fake it. But after a while, I couldn't fake it. I began to see a psychologist once a week, and that was weird. Being honest, the first time I walked into the waiting room, I was like, oh my God, I'm one of those people now, like I have a therapist. You know, you imagine like there goes that voice stigmatizing mental health, like therapy's for weirdos. I thought I'd like walk in and there'd be like this big yellow couch and like this box of tissues and they'd say like, tell me your darkest secrets. But like, it's not like that. It was actually very helpful. So after a while of seeing her, she suggested I try medicine, antidepressants. And I was immediately like, what? It's like when you've been dating someone for a while and they say, I want you to meet my parents. And you're like, this is too serious now. So naturally, I refused the meds. But of course, my depression worsened. I realized it wasn't something I could just eat a tub of ice cream over, cry, and be fine the next day.
No, for real.
The neurochemicals in my brain were literally not producing the way they once were, and my serotonin levels were no longer high enough to keep my mood where it once was. What I used to not be able to describe, I could formulate into words. I had this dark cloud over my head, and it followed me everywhere. It was there when I woke up. It was there when I went to sleep. It was there in practice every day, passing balls. And do you know how hard that is when you have to be good at your craft every single day, and all you want to do is lay into a ball and just cry? I remember times during water breaks, I would run to the bathroom and just sob, because for 5 seconds, I wanted my day to stop.
That's crazy.
I never got to a point of self-harm, fortunately, and I never put myself in actual danger, but I can remember a few times that I was biking and I thought, you know, if this car accidentally hit me, that would stop my week. That would give me the break I so badly need. I want to show you some pictures that I posted during this time in my life. What do we think of these? Just look at them. Here I am with my friends at the party. There we are looking cute and Christmassy. Over to the right, we're celebrating. I look happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because no one posts what they don't want you to see.
Yep.
This photo on the left, I was at that party for probably 20 minutes before I was so overwhelmed with all the people around me that I snuck out the back and went home alone.
That's crazy.
And when my friend in the picture texted me and said, hey, where you go?
That's crazy.
I lied, said I ran into someone. The photo in the middle, we took like 50 pictures that night to find one that I deemed pretty enough to post on my Instagram. Completely staged. And the one on the right, I spent that night crying. I was trying so hard to portray this life that I so badly felt I needed to have. And this is a problem with so many people my age, not just because of depression.
So basically, dog, what she's saying is, on Instagram, you see all these people doing all these things, all these happy things, making it look so good. But the whole time, they going through something, bruh. She said, Joe, they took over 50 pictures, and she had to go through every picture just to find a picture for her not looking like she's going through something. That is so crazy, bruh. Like, come on, bro. 50 pictures, bro. They took 50 pictures, and she had to go through all 50 pictures to find a picture showing that she's not going through nothing. And then turn around, she said she was going through so much is that she used to leave out the back door and leave her friends in the club, Joe, just to go in the corner and cry, dog. Y'all see how like mental health is so crazy, bro? Make sure y'all tap in, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, and we lit. Let's go.
But because our culture has created this belief that we need to be achieving all the time in order to be happy, right? Look what internship she got. Look what trip he went on. It doesn't stop. This constant scrolling of people who look like they're doing so well that you sit back and say to yourself, well, what am I doing? What do I look like? Why don't I look like her? It's this flawed notion that says you need to be achieving to be happy and be valued. If I'm on the USC volleyball team, I'll be valued. If I get this job, I'll be happy.
This degree means the world to me and my family.
Y'all better pay attention. I'm not just showing y'all this video trying to get some views. I'm showing y'all this video because it's really going down. Things is really going down like this. Hit that subscribe button, man. We lit.
At this point, you're probably thinking, why don't you quit? I'm not on scholarship. I could just quit. Why don't I just stop doing that? I don't quit because volleyball is who I am. It's not a hobby or something I do on the side. It's my life, like most athletes. And what that means is I have to learn how to manage my lifestyle because I have 2 more years left, and you better bet I want to win a championship.
Amen.
I have major depressive disorder, single episode with anxious features. I see my therapist now. I take medicine. I practice positive thinking. I try to be authentic on social media and to people. But the biggest thing that stood with me is I sat back and assessed it all, and I thought, why? Why did it take me so long to acknowledge and accept my illness? And I realized the culture that we live in as athletes does not make it easy for us to honor this.
That's crazy, man.
If you think about it, the culture of athletics preaches where there's a will, there's a way. The best don't rest. Unless you puke, faint, or die, keep going. Mental illness is associated with weakness. To appear weak is the last thing an athlete wants. And we're always hearing about the grind, right? It's about the grind. Even if you're not an athlete, I mean, you've heard about the grind. To me, it means when you just feel like you can't do something, but you do it. When your thighs are burning and you're sweating bullets, you run one more sprint. When it's the 5th set and you just feel like you can't do it anymore, but you go dig 10 more balls. Like, that's the grind. But being a part of this culture makes it so hard for athletes to differentiate between what is hard work and what is pushing yourself too far. What happens when this push through your workout becomes a push through a conversation, a push through a day, and all of a sudden, a push through your life? I know what the grind is. I've started on this team for 2 years competing with girls who were supposed to blow me out of the gym. And that's why it was so hard for me to honor what I was going through. I was in practice thinking, I don't want to be here today. I just want to go home and rest. And I said, Victoria, the girl to your left, she's here, she's working hard. She must want it more than you. You don't deserve to be here if you're not going to work hard. I told myself I was weak for wanting a break.
That's crazy.
And this is so true across all athletes because the stigma makes it so hard for us to come forward. Did you know that Serena Williams and Terry Bradshaw have had depression? Serena Williams, she's a legend, okay? She's been the world's #1 female tennis player 7 different times. And even someone like her can struggle with these issues. But that's just stuff people aren't realizing. Let's look at concussions, for example. In 1933, the NCAA's medical handbook said concussions shouldn't be regarded too lightly. In 1952, the New England Journal of Medicine said players who've suffered multiple concussions should stop playing football. Not until 70 years later, in 2009, did the NFL even acknowledge publicly that concussions can have long-lasting effects on players. So we're looking at something here where 20 years ago, nobody cared. Nobody cared about concussions. You'd think, yeah, banging your head together, probably not safe. No. Players were told, tough it out if your head hurts. The way we're treating mental illness today is so similar to the way we treated concussions 20 years ago.
That's
oh,
crazy.
This athlete's feeling depressed? Sleep it off. Oh, that athlete's having an anxiety attack? Tell them to calm down.
Amen.
We need to make a change societally to make people care this much about mental health. Because I'll tell you this, right now, a physical injury is treated more serious than a psychological injury, and that needs to change. I could easily get the day off for a physical injury, right? Because I'm limping. You can see my ankle swelling. But for an athlete to say, I've been feeling depressed this week, or I've had insomnia because of my anxiety, you're just looked down upon. And at this level, no one wants to miss practice. I mean, that sets me behind the competition, behind on my team. But when the trainer can see you're injured, they make you sit out because they can see your physical health is at stake.
That's crazy.
But when no one can see your mental health, it's just up to you to decide.
Yep.
And someone like me who hates not being there, my team will tell you this, I hate not being there when they're sprinting without me and I'm injured, it kills me. So for me to walk up to them and say, I have a completely uninjured body and you can't see it, but I'm not well and I need to rest today, is so hard to do. And with everything I've been through, I've only done that once. I'm here today for a greater population, a silent population of athletes who thinks they'll be viewed as lesser, doesn't have the courage to come forward, or doesn't know that they can be a strong, competitive, elite athlete and have a mental health issue. In 2015, the NCAA conducted a survey. They found that out of 2,100 athletes, 30% reported they were intractably overwhelmed.
Dang.
On depression and anxiety, they said they've seen a general increase. This is 2 years old. This should be recorded every season, if not every year, and they do not even give us numbers on depression and anxiety, and this is the most recent survey the NCAA has done. It infuriates me that something so serious is being so clearly disregarded. I did my own survey to show you guys that this is an epidemic. I surveyed 100 men and women from Division I schools like Stanford, Oregon, Washington, UCLA, you name it. And this is what I found.
If you are a busy nurse practitioner,
Man, y'all better pay attention. She's going off right now. You hear me? Y'all need to hear this. We already know that colleges is rough, but like to really be going there and listen, look at all the things, man, that she got to do every day, bruh. She got to do every day. That's crazy, bruh. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man, because we lit. Let's go.
They'd ever experienced in terms of depression or anxiety? 69% said yes. The statistic I gave you in the beginning was 25. When asked if they think the amount of time they need to spend on their sport is too much, more than half said yes, almost at 90%. And the next one honestly devastated me when the results came in, and it kept me up for a few days. I asked them, have you ever felt you experienced anxiety, depression, or an eating disorder, but were too afraid to tell anyone? More than half. That means those athletes today are somewhere and no one knows that they're struggling. And about 80% agree with me that this topic is neglected throughout society. My university gives me free medicine and free therapy, and for that I am so grateful. But so many other athletes like me don't get that opportunity because this issue is underrated and they don't have the funds. Due to the extreme time demands and the pressure that we athletes feel, we need to just be very aware of how athletes are feeling across the country and consistently be evaluating them. And athletes need to be aware of their mental health so that they can learn how to manage this lifestyle. I love my team. They are special girls, and I love the sport of volleyball. That's why I can't let it go. But as I continue my next 2 years, I hope that I hear this conversation get louder. I hope mental health stops being stigmatized for all people. And I hope that one day, a person like me can get on this stage, ask a question about mental health, and no one will think twice about raising their hand. Thank you.
Listen, I hope that video gave y'all some experience, let you know what's going on in colleges, let you know how people feel about mental health. Mental health is real. It's so much going on. It's just real, man. For real. It's just real. It's real, man. I just need y'all, man, just to stay focused, stay alert, and make sure everything is good in your life and your family life, man. Thank y'all for tapping in the Yocuzpodcast. I need y'all to pull up tomorrow at 8 p.m. and we lit. Make sure y'all hit that like button, drop a comment of the videos, and we lit. I see y'all tomorrow. Gone.